Well, hello, and allow me to introduce myself. I'm Bill Pollock, the sports director for Missouri Net and MissouriNet.com. We're a statewide news network here in Missouri, and one of our partners, the Missouri Department of Conservation, we worked with them on a series of Google Hangouts over the summer talking about deer health and deer management. As I give you some of the background here as to what we're doing today, I was talking with the marketing coordinator for the Department of Conservation, Karen Hudson, and she had asked me if I hunted. And I said, no, I didn't. Moved here in '95, came from a family that didn't hunt. And as I started making friends and hearing stories and seeing people go out and hunt, I told them I would like to do it, but I just never had the opportunity. I don't know how to go about it. And Karen told me there are a lot of people in the state of Missouri, like myself, who don't know how to get started and want to have that opportunity. So Kyle Lairmo from the Missouri Department of Conservation, he's a shooting range coordinator, puts together the hunter education. He's joining us on this Google Hangout, and he's going to be our handholder, and he's going to take us through the entire process of getting certified, finding the right equipment, going on the hunt, after the hunt, preparing the food, the whole process, and that will be through a series of Google Hangouts that you'll be able to watch here. I'm also going to introduce you to three people who are in the same boat as I am in terms of wanting to get started in hunting, and they all have various reasons for wanting to do so. So let's start by introducing Jessica Moore, an adult onset hunter. Jessica, you and I think, are very similar in the fact that we both just have an interest in trying this. Can you just talk a little bit about why you want to give deer hunting a shot?
I would agree. We're kind of in the same boat as far as I did not come from a family of hunters. And I actually took a conceal and carry class earlier in the year, I think it was February, which kind of speared off as more of, hey, I would like to use my gun more, and I could do that by hunting. And it may not be my thing, but I'm looking really forward to giving it a try.
Now, in order to get started, and we're going to bring Kyle in here in a moment, you have to go through some online registrations, some skills sessions. Jessica, have you done that stuff already? Did you go through the online course?
I did. I did the online course, and then I went to a town local to me and did the hands-on course, which was absolutely fantastic. The safety training that you learn there, I think that you could definitely use in other aspects of your life as far as safety and taking care of other people around you.
Let's bring in Kyle. Kyle, you put together the hunter education. I went through the online course, and we'll show some video here in a moment. The Department of Conservation has kind of changed some things around. It used to be a long process and something that was difficult and time-consuming, and you guys have kind of streamlined that a little bit. Can you talk about the process of the hunter education, and then we'll get into the skill sessions too. But basically, my first question is, you need this. You have to take these if you want to be a certified hunter in Missouri.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part.
I mean, you have to take these courses in order to be a certified hunter.
Correct, yes. The 16 years and older are required to take hunter education. 15 and under are allowed to hunt, but they have to hunt with a certified individual.
All right, so take us through the process. The first thing you can do, you can either get a booklet or you can go online like I did. Explain the first half of it, if you could.
Well, the old way, and I'll briefly touch on that, was 10 hours of lecture. That was the way we learned. It was long, drawn out, multiple days, and we found that students, whether it's children or adults, they learn differently. They want to learn at their own pace with a laptop, an iPad, a tablet. So we modified our course and divided it into a knowledge portion and a skills portion. The knowledge portion, you're required to you do 3 options. You can still go to the class, which is 4-hour maximum, or you can take it online like Jessica did and Bill, and or you can take a student manual and read the student manual and complete the chapter reviews in the back. That's the requirement for the knowledge portion. You have to do one of those 3 to be entered into the skills.
So you can see some video here. I was going through the different sections. going through the online course. Jessica, what did you think about the online portion? Because you did the same thing that I did. What did you think of it?
I think the online portion was very informational. I learned a lot more, not just about the part that I wanted to learn, which was deer hunting, but they also offered fowl and bow hunting, which I don't have an interest in either one of those, but I did learn a lot from that information.
And so you get a certificate, and then you go on towards the skill sessions, and we'll get to that in a moment. Now, I want to bring in Jeff Martin. Jeff, you did it in terms of wanting to get started in hunting because of your children. Can you kind of explain your story? It's pretty interesting.
Sure. It's similar to Jessica and to you in the fact that I didn't grow up hunting, but we've always been fishermen, and we all enjoy the outdoors, and I was in Scouts growing up, and so always wanted to get involved, just never took the time and really had the opportunity to. And 2 years ago, my boys, who were then 9 and 11, were just begging me to go hunting, and so I finally said, you know what, I'll do my best to take you hunting. A neighbor of mine offered up his farm and said, hey, let's just go down, we can stay for the weekend. And so I went under the apprentice program, so I took them and sat with a certified hunter with one of my boys, and then one of my friends who's a certified hunter hunted with the other one. And we had a blast, and so this past year I told the boys I was going to get certified as a hunter so that we can go on our own. And so we're actually leaving on actually Friday night to go and hunt Saturday and Sunday of this weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, Kyle, I want to get back to the mentored hunt that Jeff's just talked about, but you get the certificate, and then you go to the skill session, which is 4 hours. Jessica and I think we can both agree with this. The instructors are really pretty hands-on, friendly. They made it very comfortable for me. Kyle, can you talk a bit about the 4-hour skill session and what gets covered and why that's so important?
Well, the skills session, it was, the instructors wanted to get back to a hands-on instruction rather than just lecture and reading. The skills session is divided up in multiple demonstrations where we divide the class up, and you have to actually load and unload a firearm, handle it safely, and you have to demonstrate each one of those steps. And each student has to do that. And the reason that's helpful is there's 5 different firearm actions, and many of the students may have never operated multiple of the actions. So this skill session allows them to do that, and they familiarize themselves with those types of firearms. Then we watch videos on crossing fence, zones of fire. It's more hands-on, it's more active. The instructors love it because they interact with the students more, and it's a lot more fun to teach as well. But we feel that students are getting a lot more out of the skills session and that type of learning with hands-on than they would if they were just looking at a picture in a book or reading about it.
And you can tell that I was struggling with this. I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking at first, but I'll tell you, the instructors are they make it very easy for you. And so yeah, you kind of fumble your way around a little bit, but it's all about the learning process, and it was really pretty interesting, and I enjoyed it. Had a great time with that. Now let's go back, Kyle. I want to go back to Jeff because he was talking about this mentored hunt, or going with experienced hunters first. So what people can do, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but I'm going to go through the process. Jessica went through the process. We got certified. If you just want to try it once and see if this is something that you want to maybe pursue, you can go with a mentored hunter, a licensed hunter, and kind of get a feel for it. Can you talk a little bit about going that route?
Anyone over 16, because you're required to have hunter ed, anyone over 16 now has an option. There's many out there, such as Jessica or anyone else that may not know if they're going to like hunting, and they may not want to go through the full process of getting certified. So we developed what we call an apprentice tag. So you purchase the apprentice tag. It is good for 2 years, and it requires you to hunt with a mentor, whether it be family or friend, another licensed hunter, so that you you're still safe. You're not there alone, and you're learning. But you also decide, is this for me? Is this something I want to do? And after 2 years, or if you want to do it right away, you can go through the process of Hunter Ed and get officially certified. So it's a great opportunity for individuals out there that aren't quite sure if they want to take on hunting, and so they don't have that much investment, but they can still get out there and try it.
So if you're like myself or Jessica and you want to just try this because it's something that you haven't done before, or you're like Jeff, you have children and you want to do it for them, you can do it that way. Now I want to bring in our third person who is part of this adult onset hunting, and that's Angela Wilson. And Angela, you have a completely different reason as to why you're interested in exploring hunting. Can you talk about your situation?
Sure. Actually, over the last 3 to 4 years, I've really gotten into canning and preserving and creating an emergency pantry and a sustainable food supply for my family. And over the last year, I've really thought a lot about how hunting could add to that. So, and I really want to go through the entire process, and like you, I really don't know where to start. Go through the entire process of getting the permits, bagging the deer, and processing the meat, do everything myself, do it the way my grandfather did it.
Kyle, are there a lot of people like Angela?
Yes, in hunting, that was, a long time ago, the hunting and gathering, the importance of hunting was putting food on a table for family and feeding your family. And at some point, we got a little away from it, started becoming more of a recreation, and we want to get back to the importance of feeding your family and the importance of hunting and the health reasons. Good, clean protein, wild game, it's there. The opportunity to put food on a table and good, healthy food on the table.
All right, so you've got this entire process of how to get started. The website at the Missouri Department of Conservation, we have a link at MissouriNet.com that's attached with this Google Hangout to kind of get you started, your first basic questions. I guess, Kyle, just to kind of wrap this up, we talked about either the mentoring, going on a mentored hunt, or going through the registrations. What are a couple of key things that somebody new, like myself, Jessica, Jeff, and Angela, what are a couple of key things that we should think about right when we get started?
Obviously, the Department of Conservation, we're there to help. There's staff all over the state. There's programs available, and volunteers as well. We're passionate about what we do, and we're there to help you with all your questions and prepare you for hunting, walk you through the Hunter Ed program. So the big thing is not to be afraid to ask and not be afraid to develop that interest and that spark, because there's so many people out there. Hunter recruitment is a nationwide thing, not just Missouri. It's important to make sure we're educating new hunters and showing them the opportunity they have, and it's a responsibility as well. So that's what we're there for. So don't be shy about asking. Just contact someone with the department, or a volunteer, or a friend that's experienced, and get out there and enjoy it.
And one of the things that I want to talk about too is on our next series, Kyle, you take me out on the range, and so we'll have video of that. We'll discuss the next step. What you're seeing, none of this is staged. When you saw me fumbling around in that video, that is legitimately me. I have no understanding, no concept of hunting at all. I'm starting at the bare bottom. So if you're watching this and thinking, I don't want to do this, I'm embarrassed, don't be, because I walked into complete strangers. Let me show this real quick, because I saw this boy. He was with my group. He was the only one. After you go through the 4-hour skill session, you have to take a test, and you have 35 questions. He was the only one who got all 35 right. He had a perfect score. He's the only one. And I think there were a couple people that struggled to pass, and so I was in the middle. But, that kid did it. So just a whole wide range of people that are interested in this, and we want you to be a part of it. So what you see me go through is what I go through. And if I shoot, miss, whatever happens, you're going to get it right here on these Google Hangouts. Angela, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Jeff, And Jessica, good luck on your hunts and your experiences. Kyle, I wish you luck because you're going to be stuck with me for the next few weeks. You're going to be all the luck you can get.
Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you for watching us. And remember to check back for more in our series as we take you through adult onset hunting. Thanks for watching.